Yo, what's going on, everybody? Bitcoin Chris checking in once again. Happy Wednesday. And you're joining me today for Cooking in Bitcoin, episode 1. My girl is busy right now, but cooking for her for Valentine's Day. Love you. Love you, baby. All right, so we're going to talk about Bitcoin for the newbies. I'm over here streaming on Facebook over here, and then everywhere else is over here. For you guys watching on Restream and on YouTube, what up, what up? Just so you guys can see the food real quick. Chopping up some tomatoes, gonna make a salad. Got your butter, got the garlic, got the lobster, got the potatoes. All right. So in the meantime, and in between time, talk about Bitcoin, right? All right. So while I'm cooking, I don't know if I can turn the camera for you guys to see. I don't know how I can do this so you guys can see the food. Maybe you can do it that way. Does that work? That works. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so for you guys that are, majority of you guys are not newbies, right? So if you're watching on YouTube and you're watching on X, you guys already know what's going on with Bitcoin. But this is really for my Facebook fam who don't really know or don't really want to buy Bitcoin because they're intimidated. Or maybe you're watching, right? And you like an altcoin because the altcoin is 10 cents or the altcoin is 0.00000005 cents, right? So, yes, can you make money with altcoins? Yes, you can. All right, you can make money with altcoins. However, be aware that we are actually using a measured of account, which is the US dollar, to, judge the performance of things. You're judging the performance in USD when the USD every day is being devalued. So why would you judge value on a fraud and corrupted and crappy fiat currency like the dollar? Obviously, we need to make money, right, to pay bills and to do whatever, but long term, we need to have a long-term outlook on things. So if you're new here, I want to encourage you, don't be afraid of the $50,000 Bitcoin price, and don't fall into unit bias, right? Because yes, you can buy a million Dogecoin or whatever, right? However, and yes, you can make money with those things. However, Bitcoin will be the money in the future because it's uncorruptible. It's an honest ledger. And for those of you that are still worried about the price of Bitcoin, you have to change your mindset about Bitcoin, guys. So, again, for those of you on YouTube and on Twitter, you guys already know this stuff, right? You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. So, for those of you that don't know, on my Facebook page, and maybe you don't know these things, right? So, it's good to have a refresher. You can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin, $10 worth of Bitcoin, $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter as long as you stack your Bitcoin, right? Don't let the unit bias get to you. So we're going to jump into some math real quick. So let's jump into some math. All right? Let's jump into some math. So let's just say, for an example, you saved up $5,000. And you have $5,000 sitting in your savings account. So we're not talking about an emergency fund, right? Your emergency fund, everybody should have that, right? Just in case something happens, right? We're not talking about an emergency fund. We're talking about a savings account that is just sitting there, not doing anything. So let's just say you have $5,000 sitting in your savings account, right? If you decide to not invest that money, contrary to your belief, thanks to inflation and the money printing in our government and fiat currencies, that $5,000 will still be $5,000. However, your purchasing power of that $5,000 will go down because not only is Joe Biden going to print more money, Donald Trump has printed more money, right? Because of the pandemic. So, because of these financial or fiscal policies, right? Because of the money, because they have to print more money to cover the debt, and we are a debt-based society, they have to print more money, guys. So if they're going to print more money, they're going to devalue your savings. You need to understand inflation. So inflation, we hear this word on the news, and unless you actually do some research, you don't really care about inflation, right? You're just trying to take care of your bills. You don't really care about inflation, right? Except for when you go to the grocery store, right? When you go to the grocery store, that's when you start feeling those ramifications of inflation, right, guys? So if you're going to the grocery store, myself as well, I gotta go to the grocery store, right? I gotta go buy food. If I'm buying the same food but it costs more, I'm buying the same things that I used to buy a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, but it costs more, guys. That's inflation. You guys don't understand this, so I want to break this down to you. The price of your house is not going up. If you own a home and your home is going up, it's not the price of your home going up, guys. It's the value of your dollar going down. So we need to understand this. If not, you're going to continue to be at the whims of our fraudulent and corrupt and evil-ass government. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from. If you're here in America, the government is against you, whether you like it or not. Why? Because they're printing the money, which is stealing from you. They're stealing from you slowly but surely. You don't even know that they're stealing from you, but they're stealing from you. This is why our parents could buy a home in the 1960s for about $50,000, $40,000, $60,000, $100,000. That same house is worth $100,000, $250,000, $300,000, $500,000. And, shout out to them, right? They had strong money back then before they started printing all this money. So we need to understand that, hey, all right, if I don't do something with my money is going to go down in value. So the wealthy don't save, right? Rich people don't save. If you save, you're going to end up losing because the money's going to be stolen from you via inflation, guys. So again, house prices, we went over groceries as far as food goes, right? Gas prices goes up, and that goes up and down. I guess that doesn't really, some people feel the effects, some people don't, unless you're in LA. It's kind of crazy, but, their cost of living is higher. So I don't really want to talk about gas prices so much, but I want to talk about, again, the purchasing power of your dollar, right? So instead of saving in US dollar, I would recommend that you save in Bitcoin, right? And so we have a lot of people that don't like Bitcoin because they haven't done their research. So what you can do is instead of being, instead of listening to the mainstream media, because even now the mainstream media has come around and said, oh, Bitcoin is good and Bitcoin is this and Bitcoin is that. Yeah, now they want you to buy in at 50,000, right? But when it was 16,000, when it was 3,000, and I was telling you guys to buy a little bit, buy some and just hold, right? You guys, some people listen, but most people don't. Most people didn't, and most people still don't listen, right? So, it's okay if you don't buy Bitcoin. You're going to buy Bitcoin at the price you deserve if you're lucky enough to be able to buy Bitcoin, right? Because at some point, the people that own Bitcoin are not going to want why would somebody trade Bitcoin, the hardest and the most hardest asset, the most scarce asset that we have ever seen on the planet that nobody can control? Why would somebody trade that for a dying dollar? Whether you're in, whether you're in the U.S. or you're in Venezuela or you're in, your food is ready. Whether you're in these countries, right? Nobody at some point, guys, nobody's gonna want to take U.S. dollars, guys. At some point, right? And then you're gonna have to work for Bitcoin, right? You're not gonna be able to buy Bitcoin as easily as it is now. I'm telling you now. It's gonna take some time, but I'm telling you now. You're not gonna be able to buy Bitcoin at some point in the future. And even if you have a little bit of Bitcoin, it can change your life in the future. You just have to hold. You have to have a longer time horizon. With all the money printing and everything that they need to do in the future that's coming up, your purchasing power is going to go down even more. We are on these apps such as TikTok and Twitter all day, or at least I am, right? All day, I'm learning, I'm reading, I'm looking at the data, I'm looking at how much BlackRock is buying, I'm looking at how many people are complaining on TikTok about the cost of living, rent, how people cannot afford to buy a home, right? So I asked, and I tweet this all the time. I said, do you guys really think this is going to get better over time? And the correct answer is no, it's not. It's actually going to get worse over time. Unless you save in Bitcoin, right? Or you earn Bitcoin, right? Because everything gets cheaper according when you compare it to Bitcoin, right? And everything gets more expensive when you price it in fiat because it gets devalued, guys. So right now, again, I'm cooking some lobster for Bay. Love you. I got some tomatoes here. We're going to make a salad. We're going to make lobster and potatoes for Valentine's Day. So I'm just cooking, and while I cook, right, I wanted to hop on here and do Bitcoin and cooking with you guys. Cooking and talking about Bitcoin. I love to cook. I love Bitcoin. Right? So might as well combine the two and chat. Right? Also, shout out to everybody that's been trading, right? If you have been trading, or at least if you've been DCA over the last few months, right? I've been making videos for quite a long time now. And, been pretty on point with the calls, right? Especially last night, I woke up to Bitcoin pumping. Feels good, right? But I made a tweet, guys, and I say this all the time. You actually should be sad when the price of Bitcoin goes up, and then you should be happy when the price of Bitcoin goes down, guys. Because again, the price of Bitcoin being at the price that it's at now, it's not going to last too long. Yeah, we're going to get dips. Yeah, it's at a discount whether you think it's expensive or not, right? It's really not. It's really not. Right? So you should be ecstatic and should be excited and should be happy, right, that Bitcoin goes down in price because it gives you the opportunity to buy more Satoshis, right? And for those of you that don't know what a Satoshi is, a Satoshi is a unit of account of Bitcoin, right? Just like how the US dollar has pennies, that is the cent or cents, right? And pennies is 1 cent. And that's 100 pennies equals $1. 100 million Satoshis equals 1 Bitcoin. And as long as you stack your Bitcoin, guys, over time, you accumulate, the price really is irrelevant because it's actually deflationary. Shout out to Jeff Booth. We have technology that makes life easier. We have technology that makes communication easier. We have technology to build houses much more easier, right? So there's less friction, and it shouldn't be as expensive to live, right? However, we live in a system, and we live in a country, and we live in a world where they have to steal from you. So even though technology makes life easier and things should be getting cheaper over time, it actually gets more expensive over time because they steal from us, right? So shout out to Jeff Booth. I highly recommend you listen to Jeff Booth's videos. And in that way, you have an idea. I think they're done. And that way you have an idea. There you go. On the plate. Put the plate on here. Put the foil on here. Tell everybody what fractional reserve banking is, if you remember. Do you remember?
Fractional reserve banking?
It's when the bank do what? When you put your money in the bank, what do the banks do with it?
Spend it.
They spend it. That's right. You remember what fractional reserve banking is? Not really.
I remember a part of it.
Remember a little bit of it? My son, he knows a little bit about, he actually owns Bitcoin. He has his own Bitcoin, right? Mm-hmm. And, he knows what fractional reserve banking is. I just haven't quizzed him on it in a while. But that's when the banks gamble with your money. Mm-hmm. And you don't have any say in it, right? You don't have any say because you put it in the bank. As soon as you put it in the bank, it's not your money anymore. Right? So that's why you should not have your money in the bank in the first place. Well, wealthy people don't have their money in the bank. They have their money in assets, such as real estate, which Bitcoin is going to demonetize. And that brings me to the next point. Real estate is a great opportunity and a great asset to put in if you're looking to generate cash flow. But at some point, Bitcoin will allow you to do so with the ETFs. All right. And it's also great for tax advantages because of cost segregation study and because of depreciation. Right. So if you know these things, then, that's actually wise of you to get into the real estate market. However, if you're looking to get a higher ROI, which is a return on your investment, then the best asset that has outperformed everything is Bitcoin. All right. So yes, you can buy a real estate property. You can get what 10%, 20%, cash on cash return, IRR. ROI is about 10%, right? 10, 20% if you got a good property, right? And if you're cash flowing, that's like I said, that's the main objective, right? When you get a apartment building, which is great, right? Because that'll pay for your living. So I do like real estate if you do it the right way. Okay. All right. And if you understand, if you're looking for a higher ROI, then Bitcoin's the way to go, right? Why would you invest in real estate? Because your real estate property is not going to go up 200% or 300% like Bitcoin has just done, right? In a year or less, or a little bit over a year, right? Your real estate property is not going to do that. There are stocks that could do that, but how many stocks are there, guys? Right? How many stocks are there? Everybody wants to buy stocks. Everybody wants to buy real estate. And I've been telling you guys for years, that's not the move, right? I've been telling you guys when Bitcoin was 3,000 to buy. I've been telling you guys when Bitcoin corrected and came back down to 16,000. I have a tweet that says in January, I think it's go time on the weekly. I think it's time. I think we bottomed and it's time to go for a run. And look at us almost 2 years later. We went on a crazy run, right? Why would you invest in the S&P 500 and make minimum returns compared to Bitcoin, right? The choice is yours. And the reason why I tell you guys about Bitcoin as well is so that way you don't get confused and go down the rabbit hole of crypto. Because you will see the tweets about Doge. It is coming. The Doge tweets are coming. The Pepe tweets are coming. Right? The Doge, the Pepe tweets, the new S coins, you got your Ethereum maxis, you got your Solana maxis. They're already here, right? It's going to amplify even more. And again, you can make money on these tokens, but keep in mind, some of them, majority of them are centralized, or I think all of them are centralized for the most part, right? Not only that, majority of them will lose 99% of their value in the bear market. Compared to Bitcoin, could be about 70%, right? But again, if Bitcoin corrects, I said this earlier in the spaces on Swan spaces earlier today, on Twitter, if Bitcoin comes down, you need to be excited about that, right? Even if you smash bought at the bottom. I remember buying $1,000 at all-time highs, and Bitcoin dipped right away, right? Did I cry? No, of course not. I don't care. If you have a long enough time horizon, who cares? Bitcoin's going to come right back, right? If you understand the asset. So a lot of people don't understand what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is real money. It's hard money. We're blessed and spoiled rotten in America, where we don't actually feel the ramifications of a corrupt. Our government's corrupt, but they're not too corrupt, right? They're not that corrupt like Nigeria, right? Where their government is super corrupt and they print money out of thin air by the trillions, right, or billions, right? We print trillions too, so we can't really talk, but we are closer to the money printer, right? So it's a little bit. We're blessed enough to be able to use Bitcoin as an investment or a savings technology. But if you live in Venezuela, if you live in Lebanon, if you live in Nigeria, you cannot transact in that currency because it's literally losing value, right? And some people understand this in those countries and some people don't, right? And the people that do get it, they share that knowledge. They're able to transact. They're able to buy groceries. They're able to take care of things and do what they need to do regardless of what's going on in their fiat currency. So I say this all the time, right? Americans are probably going to be the last to adopt Bitcoin because, again, even when I'm posting on Twitter, even when I'm posting on Facebook, even when I'm posting on IG, it doesn't get too much attraction, right? It doesn't get too much traction. Nobody really cares about it until the price starts pumping, right? Then everybody wants to jump in, and then you buy the top, and then you get dumped on, right? And then the cycle continues. Then you turned off the Bitcoin. Then you go to Dogecoin. Then you go to, and just the cycle continues, right? But if you need to take the time to study it, because once you study it, you may get Bitcoin tatted on your face like I did. I don't know. I'm not saying you will, but maybe you will. Maybe you won't, right? I'm extreme. But once you understand and you find out what the government's been doing and how they do it and how they're stealing from, and really they're not even stealing from, they're stealing from us. But really, what's worse is that they're stealing from our kids and our children. If you have any children, if you're blessed enough to have children, right? If you think it's expensive for us, what do you think is going to happen when our kids get older? What do you think is going to be the ramifications of all the money printing? What do you think is the ramifications for our children, guys? They're the ones that's going to feel. They're going to feel worse than how we feel, right? And we're already seeing everybody crying on Twitter and on TikTok about not being able to buy a house, or they can't buy Starbucks anymore, or the cost of Starbucks is going up, or McDonald's prices are going up now. There is no more dollar menu. There is no more dollar menu at McDonald's. Why? Because the dollar has gone down in value, so everything else gets more expensive. However, if you price everything in Bitcoin, everything gets more cheaper. Everything gets less expensive. All right? So inflationary is US dollar. Deflationary means everything gets cheaper. Is Bitcoin, right? If you don't understand these words, write them down and then Google them, right? All you need to do. If you have not gone to my YouTube channel, log on to youtube.com right now and go to @BitcoinChris and watch my videos that I've been making since 2022, I think, beginning of 2022. I don't know. I have a ton of videos on there. I have a lot of charting videos in the beginning, but then I started to make my whiteboard videos. So I highly recommend you just watch the whiteboard videos. But if you want to see me make the calls, and see me talk about how I think Bitcoin's going to pump and all that good stuff, right? You go back and see it. It's all documented, right? It's all on my timeline as far as Facebook and Twitter and IG. It's all there. So, if I was lying, that'd be one thing, right? But you can actually go down the timeline and see these things, right? You can see it and you can tell. So, there's a bunch of newbies, right, that's going to come into the space. They're going to act like they know what's up. They're going to act like they know what's up, right? And they really don't know what's up. So be aware of the grifters. We call those people grifters, right? And it's okay for new people to come in and if you learn about Bitcoin, it is what it is. I'm happy for you. But it honestly takes a lot of time to understand Bitcoin. There's no shortcuts to understanding Bitcoin, and the reason why Bitcoin is very important is it's something that everyone can access. It doesn't matter your race, religion, where you live. Everybody has access to it as long as you have an internet connection, right? And everybody can access it, and it's borderless. We can transact with anybody anywhere in the world. It's permissionless. You don't have to ask permission to transact in Bitcoin, guys. My son has a Bitcoin wallet. He cannot go to the bank and open up a bank account without an ID or a parent, right? Opening one up for him. So, permissionless, right? Your kids can have a bank account, right? Without having to ask and having to do all this stuff, right? You just download a wallet. It's that simple. But you need ID, proof of, for us to go get a bank account, right? You know how many people are unbanked, first and foremost? There are so many people that are unbanked. I share these stats all the time. In the United States, there's a lot of people unbanked, but in the world, in the entire world, there's so many people. I think it's about don't quote me, Google it. I think it's a little bit over 1 billion people that are unbanked, which means they do not have a bank account in the world. So, this gives people to transact, guys. This gives people the freedom and the opportunity to transact. So, again, we're blessed enough to be able to buy it as an investment. All right. Does that lobster look good? If that lobster looks good, let me know. I got the tomatoes seasoned. I'm about to cut some garlic. All right. And if you're watching on Facebook, I see Facebook. I see. I'll bring this a little bit closer to Facebook. We got the lobster here, Facebook. We got the potatoes here. Got the tomatoes. And fry. Right. All right, cool. So, let's see. Bitcoin is going to 54,000 because I'm cooking right now. I can't really get to a chart. But you guys already know. Go look at the video I just posted the other day, yesterday and the day before. Go look at the videos, guys. I say the same things. I've been saying the same thing. Bitcoin is the truth. Once you see the truth shall make you free. Once you understand that you've been slaving away for years and years and years, and you have nothing to show for it because you've been a fiat-minded individual, which we all have been, right? We've been duped by the government to be a sheep, right? To just work. No, Rihanna. Work. Let me do my dirt. All right, cool. So we can work, right, all this time, unless you're wise, right? Unless you're wise and you do smart things with your money, that's one thing, right? And you're making investments to grow your money, that's one thing, right? However, most people live paycheck to paycheck, okay? So let's come back to reality, right? Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Most people don't understand how money works. Most people don't know what's going on with the money. Most people don't know what inflation is. Most people think Biden and any politician for that matter is actually going to save them, right? Biden is not going to save you. Trump ain't going to save you. But I digress. I'm not even going to go there. Anyways, nobody's going to save you but you guys. And if you have children, you owe it to your children to buy them some Bitcoin and chill, guys. 401ks are scams. 401ks are scams. I've been saying this. I said this years ago, and I'm gonna continue to say it. 401ks are scams, guys. You want to buy into a 401k that's tracked by the stock market, right? Which is S&P 500 and whatever, right? Unless you do a little bit of a risky. Unless you have a higher risk tolerance, right, and you do a little bit more risky trade, right? Because why would you? So 401k scams. Let's start with this, right? First of all, you can't access your money until you retire. They're pushing the age of retirement back farther and farther, right? Not only that, if you decide to want to take it's your money, right? If you want to take your money out, you get taxed on it. When you take your money out in the future, you will be taxed on it, okay? And by the time you retire, taxes are going to be much higher than it is now because they have to keep you enslaved with taxes. This is how they keep us down, right? Taxes, right? Taxes. They're going to tax you to death, right? If you want to access your money, you get taxed, right? Not only that, the people that are managing your 401k, they get their fee. So not only are they making a fee, Uncle Sam's taking his fee. God forbid the stock market crashes, which we've seen before, that everything that you just put into the stock market goes bye-bye. Right? It goes down in value, right? And of course, all markets and all asset classes go up and down, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line. Everything has its ups and downs, right? But again, I shared a tweet. If you saw the tweet, his name is Dividend Hero. He was talking crap about Bitcoin. He actually posted waste management. I actually tweeted this, and everybody started, going in on him after I tweeted this tweet. He posted waste management, and he posted the S&P 500. He posted a 10-year chart of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is only up 170-something% in 10 years. What? 170-something% in 10 years? Bitcoin did 100% last year. Bitcoin went from 3,000 to 69,000 in 2020 to 2021. How many X's is that? That's like 61X. That's like I don't remember what it was. 40, 50, 60X. You guys do the math, right? So again, waste management. I think it was a 5-year chart he posted, right? So he posted these charts, right? And I responded to him because people think they're doing something with these stocks. I'm like, okay. I understand, because if you don't know, you don't know, right? So, you're like, okay, waste management is trash, no pun intended, compared to Bitcoin. Here's the chart of Bitcoin. Posted it. He's like, Bitcoin, I'm not buying no Bitcoin. Right? Okay, cool. Then he posted S&P 500 10-year. I posted a 10-year chart of Bitcoin up. I think it's like 1,000,000%. I don't know. Bitcoin's up crazy in the 10-year, right? Go look at it yourself. Go look at the 10-year chart of Bitcoin. Go look at the S&P 500. Chart in 10 years and 10 years and compare and contrast, right? The numbers do Do it. All the thing. The numbers do everything that you need to see, right? I don't care about my opinion, right? My opinion is irrelevant, guys, because the data is going to tell you what you need to know. The data is showing you what's going on, and the data, the Bitcoin is showing you how weak your dollar is getting. The higher Bitcoin goes, the weaker your dollar is. So it's really the complete antithesis, the complete opposite of what Bitcoin is, guys. The fiat currency and Bitcoin are opposite of each other, right? So he was posting these charts. I told him buy some Bitcoin. He posted the other day, not too long ago. I would rather buy S&P versus buying Bitcoin and talking reckless like everybody does because they don't do a lick of research, and that's okay, right? Today, Bitcoin hits 52,000. He tweets, I think Bitcoin is raging. Should I add some to my portfolio? And just like that, a hater is confirmed. A hater becomes a believer, right? A hater will realize, because it's okay, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't invest in Bitcoin, you're gonna buy Bitcoin at the price you deserve, or you're gonna have to earn it in the future, and then your kids are gonna look at you like you're crazy. Your kids are gonna be like, yo, you had an opportunity to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, and you didn't buy any of it. You didn't buy a little bit of it just in case. Your kids are gonna look at you like you're crazy in the future, right? But I digress. So he is now considering buying Bitcoin, and the point is, all the haters will own Bitcoin one day, whether they know it or not. Because even now with the ETFs, right, you can buy Bitcoin through your ETF, via ETF through your 401k, for an example, right? So that's a great thing about the ETFs, right? Lots of capital can flow into Bitcoin, which is what we are seeing now. More institutions and more of old money, right, can now buy Bitcoin without having to worry about cold storage or having to self-custody or any of that stuff, right? Which is the whole point of Bitcoin, right? And that's fine. Some people don't want to learn, and that's fine, right? But the whole point of Bitcoin is for you to become your own bank. You need to become your own bank. You need to take personal responsibility. You need to sit down and read a book, whether it be The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth, Seyfedina Moose, The Bitcoin Standard, Bitcoin in Black America, Isaiah Jackson, Bitcoin That Fiat Dad coming soon by your boy Chris Knight, coming soon. There's plenty of books, there's plenty of podcasts, there's plenty of information at your fingertips for you to be ignorant about the best performing asset that has ever existed. So that's like you going to the best restaurant in town, and then you say, I want the second best item on the menu. No, you don't want the second best item. I want the best steak in the house, not the second best steak in the house. I don't want the second best anything, right? I want the best, right? You should want the best for yourself. You should want the best for your family, and you need to have a longer time frame of thinking. Whether Bitcoin dips or not, you have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin, and I think it's very important that you do so. So, with that being said, I digress. I've been ranting away here. And you know better, you do better, right? So I hope you do better. Hope you do better. And if you don't, it's okay. You can have fun staying poor. All right? So, with that being said, has anybody been taking those trades that I've been posting? Has anybody been making some money like how I've been making some money, guys? If you've been making money like how I've been making money, leave a like. If you've been stacking Bitcoin, hit that like button. If you know what's going on with Bitcoin and nobody else knows but you and you sound crazy, hit that like button. Right? If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe. Right? Hit that like button and subscribe. All right? So cooking, Bitcoin and cooking and Bitcoin. So I'm now about to make some guacamole. Let me show y'all how to make the best guac. Matter of fact, I don't even have what I need to make the guac. So I'm not even gonna do the guac today. All right? But let me show you guys how I seasoned my lobster.
Oh, we better.
Show you how I season the right? Lobster, we have onion powder. We have garlic powder. We have real garlic as well. Sofrito. What y'all know about sofrito? Sofrito. All right, sofrito. Where's my other? All right, and just if you just want to, this is something that I use every day, right? Everyday seasoning on all the food. Evergreens. Evergreens, guys. You guys, what you know about evergreens? All right, put this on the list, guys. Evergreens. Evergreen fire. We have organic tomatoes. We don't do none of that fake tomato stuff, guys. Organic tomatoes. We don't do fake tomatoes around here. We have key limes, which I've also squirted. Spritzed sounds a little bit more nicer. We have key limes, right? I have a lime over here. I had a lime over here. You can do a lime, but I prefer key lime. Key lime is where it's at, guys. And do me a favor, write this down if you guys have been taking notes or if you want to check out a dope video. You can take, they can't see you on Facebook, but they can see you on Twitter. This is my son, guys. Look how big he is. He's bigger than me, man. Taller than me, guys. Who's taller? Turn around. Who's taller? I think he's taller. My baby boy ain't baby no more, man. Getting big. How much you made in trading, bro?
200.
How much you made in trading, bro?
200.
When did you start, man?
Yesterday.
Woo! Dang, you made 200. Trading yesterday. Who helped you get that 200?
Me.
Me. You wish.
Me.
My son making bread. Trading off the stuff that I'm giving you guys. If he can do it, he's 13, you can do it. Okay? And matter of fact, if you don't trade, right? I tell you that all the time. If you don't trade. But if you do trade, take a little baby bag, put it over into bitty. Take your big bag, put it in the Bitcoin, right? And take a little bit of money that you do not care about and trade with the baby bag. Okay? You will get liquidated if you don't play this smart, right? If you don't, I say the same things every day, right? If you don't listen and you don't risk manage correctly, you will get liquidated, you will lose your money. So don't trade if you don't know what you're doing. Okay? It's not easy. You got to be emotionally stable, mentally stable. Because, the losses I took, some people would have been out of here already, right? It happens to the best of us, right? We all lose some, we win some, but you make your losses little and you make your wins big. All right, so back to the cooking, right? Let's see, what else am I gonna need? Babe, you want cucumber?
Yes, baby.
All right, we're gonna cut up some cucumbers for the salad. Shout out to everyone that gave me birthday wishes yesterday. Shout out to you guys. So cucumber, we're gonna do cucumber and tomatoes in the salad. So I'm gonna chop up the cucumbers. And if you know about cucumbers and vinegar, you know about cucumbers and vinegar. Life. You know about cucumber water. Life. Life. All right, cucumber. She doesn't like the skin, so I gotta peel it. Gotta peel it. I'm thinking about getting a camera, a nice camera, where I can, do this a little bit more professional, right? Like on the cooking channel. You know how they got the cooking channel on TV, right? But it's gonna be a Bitcoin cooking channel. You heard? My channel, the Bitcoin cooking channel. You heard? Where we talk about Bitcoin and cook. I think that's a dope idea. Okay, speaking of cooking, don't forget we have the Bitcoin party in July. How can you come? And it doesn't matter who you are, right? You don't have to be a Bitcoiner to come to the party, but I want you to come. And it's going to be in July. It's here in Orlando. Link is in the bio. Also, it should be in the description of the video on YouTube, of course. But if you're watching on X, then it's going to be in the bio. Okay, so come through to the Orlando Bit Exit Party. We will be at an Airbnb. We will be chilling. We will be hanging out. We will be cooking steak. We're gonna have a steak off. Me and my girl gonna come up with a bunch of fun activities to do. It is a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. And if you do the VIP experience, you're gonna get some merch. You're also going to have the opportunity, if you want to stay at the Airbnb, we only have a few of those slots available. And it's right by it's not too far from the airport, because I was going to do a bigger place, but it's all the way out in Davenport or Kissimmee, and that's super far from the airport. So just to make things much easier for you guys, I got a place closer to the airport. So please, if you guys want to come hang out and party with the Bitcoiners over in Orlando in July, come on down, and maybe we can do like a bowling session, and then we can do we can go hang out at the pool at like a Hilton or something like that. So we can do a bunch of different things if you guys want to join and experience a day with some Bitcoiners. So it's not a conference, it's not nothing serious. We're here to have fun. We're gonna cook off. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna chill. We're gonna have a good time, right? It's all about the good vibes. So I'm chopping up. I know it's hard for you guys to see over here on. And bring you guys a little closer. Bring you guys a little closer. Here it is. I'm chopping up cucumber here. Chopping up the cucumber. Depending on how good this party goes, it's going to be an annual event, so it should be one every year. So if you guys want to go out to, maybe we can do one like Cancun or something, or like Cabo, or Cabo's too far, Playa del Carmen. Hey, you guys come out to Playa del Carmen. Playa del Carmen. Okay, cool. All right, so now we got the cucumber, as you guys can see here. Let me just give you guys the overview real quick. We got the cucumber. We got your onion. We got your garlic. We got your tomatoes, organic tomatoes. Come over here, and we have your onions and your butter. Okay, and then you got Facebook over here. Of course, Facebook people be acting like they don't want to hear it. Facebookers be acting like they don't want to make no bread, but it's okay. That's why I be on Twitter. Oh, okay. Okay, it's A-okay. All right, so I went on my rant earlier, so if you're just now tuning in, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment on where you're from, and leave a comment that says replay if you're watching the replay, right? I want to know if you guys are watching the replay. Man, that lobster look good, guys. I ain't gonna lie. That lobster look real good, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Eating good around here. So if you're watching the replay or you're watching here, you know, you're just chilling. About to cook it up. About to cook up. Babe, you want anything? Need anything? Okay. All right, let me thirsty and parched. The higher Bitcoin goes, the more blonde I'm gonna be, guys. The more Super Saiyan I'm gonna be, guys. All right. The higher Bitcoin goes, the more Super Saiyan I'm gonna be. I don't know if you guys been noticing, but the boy got highlights.
Hey, are you gonna drop it off or is she?
I can drop you off. I'm about to be done streaming anyway. What time you trying to slide?
She's.
All right, let's back to the cooking. Let me know when you try to slide. Or when she wants you to slide. Olive oil. We're gonna drizzle.
To 6810 North Orange Blossom Trail. Head south on North Belt Avenue.
When is she going?
She's 35 minutes away and we're 23. She's leaving now.
She's leaving from her job?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
She's meeting us there.
So we can leave in 10 minutes. Okay. Someone, they say we twins. Are we twins?
Mm-mm.
We twins?
No.
Camera's right there.
Wow.
Are we twinsies, y'all? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
We're not.
I don't know. Yeah. Remember that Dave Chappelle? Y'all don't know. You don't know this. But y'all remember that Dave Chappelle? Majority of y'all should be, the age to know who Dave Chappelle is. Dave Chappelle was like, "You was in my balls, man." Bro, you came out of my balls, bro. Isn't that crazy? How your kids come from you? It's my son, man. Huge. All right, I'm adding some olive oil to not only the lobster, but now I'm adding it to the cucumber and the tomatoes. Also, I like to cook with this, guys. And before I end the live, what I'll do is I'll come back and most likely I'll just go live and show you guys what I've cooked when I'm done. Coconut oil, guys. Coconut oil for not only your skin and your hair, but coconut oil for your food. For your food. If you want to bring out the flavor in anything you're cooking, use coconut oil. Okay? A little dab will do you. All right, so this is Bitcoin Chris checking out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Had to go live. Bitcoin to 54,000. 53,000 might pull back. 54 is the target. Who knows? Right? We shall see. Stack your Bitcoin to chill. Head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. Get your $10 free Bitcoin. Head over to bitcoin-fiatdad.com or scan this QR code right here. Pre-order my new book. You'll be put on the waiting list. And with that being said, stack your Bitcoin and chill. Bitcoin Chris checking out.